Hey guys, it's Scott from Let's Play Easy Mode, and today, well, we're going to be diving into a big channel update. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're new here, then welcome to the channel. And if you're one of our regulars, then welcome back. Today, we're just gonna go over a few channel update things. I've had a lot of wonderful people in our community. I mean, you guys are all wonderful. A lot of people have been reaching out for a while now and kind of asking for updates on, hey, how are things going with Operation Easy Home? How are things going with the housing situation? How are things going with your health? I know a lot of people, if you've been following the channel closely, you know I spent like 4 days in the hospital, trying to figure out some stuff. And yeah, so basically I wanted to just take some time and just kind of answer some of those questions and kind of talk about what that's going to mean for the channel moving forward. Because if I'm being honest with you, there are going to be some changes to the channel, and how significant those changes are, I don't know. I really don't know. Let me first start out with, because a lot of people have been asking me about my health. And I just want to say I love you and I thank you so much for your concern. A lot of you guys know I spent 4 days in the hospital because my left eye had lost vision. Like, I would say 3/4 of my vision in that eye, like overnight. And my primary care doctor said, go into the emergency room. Before you know it, I was there for 4 days, and they were running all kinds of tests, trying to really eliminate all these ideas, And what they finally came down to was this diagnosis, this thought of that I had MS, multiple sclerosis. And they were looking at that, but while at the same time, there was also just kind of some thoughts on whether or not I just had an extremely bad sinus infection that was causing impaired vision, like on the optic nerve. And I haven't really talked about it much since I got home from the hospital. And I've been kind of living with this now for the last several weeks. But to give you guys an update, I have gone and seen a neurologist, and they have gone over all kinds of imaging and things like that. And I have been officially diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I do have MS, and years ago, they would have just offered a support team and said, here's, as you're suffering through it, as you get older, it's different for everybody. But now there's so many treatments for it. And that's where I find joy in that. And that's where I find, some hope in that, is that they have new medications now that do so well treating MS. And really just kind of, as my doctor said, my neurologist, it's like this medication can just kind of take MS and put it in the cage. You'll have it, but it stays at bay. And you hopefully will just go on living the life that you expected to live. And basically what I'm going to be doing is taking the best route possible. There's different ways to treat it, but I want the most effective way. Which is actually twice a year, every 6 months, getting an infusion. Kind of the way that you see with like chemo, but it's not chemo. I'm not going to be losing my hair or anything like that. It's just going to be taking a special medication just through an IV. I'll go in once every 6 months, sit in the recliner, probably play a Switch game, while I'm sitting there waiting with an IV, and I'll get my medicine. And then I don't have to do anything else. There's no other medication to take. They said it's so treatable now. And so they do that, and they said I'm in a good spot because they actually think I've had MS for quite some time, but it's just never manifested. And so now, other than the eye, which is actually getting better slowly, he said, and that's a really good sign. And he said that with taking the medication, he's like, probably there's a really good chance that your brain's just going to completely heal, because where they found the lesions were in the back, where there's like an optic area of the brain that kind of has to do with light. And that was what my problem was with this eye. It just couldn't process light the right way. And so but the eye is fine. the eye itself is great. So they said, honestly, with the medication, over time, it may take a little while, but as the brain heals there, I'll probably just get better and hopefully complete vision back. So, and right now it's not bad at all. Like I can see a ring light, I can actually read a lot of the text on my screen, so it's good. And once I open up both eyes, then, life kind of goes back to normal a little bit. So that's good. And I'll be doing these infusions, probably for the rest of my life, maybe not. He said that a lot of people, when they get up into their 60s, he's like, the immune system starts to scale back a little bit. And what they've seen is a lot of times MS will kind of fade out of the picture for some people because, it's an autoimmune disease, right? Their immune system is overworking and attacking certain things. And then when the immune system kind of scales back, they've seen that happen before. And so they said there's a lot of people who actually take the treatments until they get into their later years, like into their 60s and stuff, and then they can kind of scale back and maybe even not do those treatments at all. So I find a lot of hope in that. What was really funny is when he said that, I thought, oh man, my 60s, it's going to be forever. And then I realized I'm still kind of an old guy. I keep forgetting that I am getting older. And I'm like, I'm going to be 45 this year. 60 is only 15 years away. That's only 30 infusions. I can do that. I mean, I swear they pricked me with like 30 blood samples when I was there in the hospital. So I'll be doing that twice a year and hopefully just living a relatively normal life. Again, for those of you who are praying people out there, I'd love it if you guys would continue to do that for me. Now, I want to move on to the next thing because, as you guys know, one of our community members actually titled this Operation Easy Home. Because we've been talking about how several months ago I got on and said that we were going to be losing our home here. I was talking about how, we moved in last year. You guys remember I started the channel in a small apartment and then we moved here and we were offered this house at a very affordable rent, especially for the area that we live in the country. And honestly, the conversations we had back then, I knew the landlady. She was almost like another mom to me at one time. I used to come over to this house when I was a teenager, and she invited us. She called us and said, "Hey, I'd love to have you guys move into the home." And we talked in the long term, like this is where Ellie was going to grow up. This is where we were going to live. I was going to have Easy Mode Studio, on this side I've got where I do my music, but this is, it's all for the channel now, right? And I loved it, and I've absolutely have been more happy in the last year over living in a home like this. It's been the nicest place I've ever been able to live in, and it's been such a joy. My family has enjoyed it. My daughter has enjoyed it. We love the school system here. But we found out a few months ago that our landlady has decided that she wants to move, and she wants to sell the home, and so. She gave us about a year to get out. She said, I want to give you guys a year so you can kind of figure out. We live in one of the most expensive states to live in the country right now, and it's only getting worse by the day. And we're actually, it seems like every other week our local news does like an expose on like the housing crisis here. So it's kind of crazy. It's really what we're seeing where we live is a huge influx of out-of-staters that kind of happened with the pandemic. Here, where I live, there are good jobs, but not like New York jobs. And so what's happening is being here in the Northeast, we're having a huge influx. They say like 3 to 4 out of every 5 homes sold here now is sold to an out-of-stater, and usually New Yorkers. And so what happens is a lot of folks from New York are coming up here because housing is cheaper here than there, but it's still making housing more expensive here than it's ever been. And so what they're saying is our state is now one of the leading states as one of the most exited states in the country, because what's happening is it's got this huge influx of really wealthy, nice job, rich folks coming up, buying the homes, and these homes that used to be $200,000, $300,000 are going for like $750,000 to $1 million now. And the rest of us who grew up here, who have always lived here, there's this huge exodus of people who are being priced out of the state because they can't afford to live here anymore. And so that's why moving into this house and having a house for the money that we were spending was a really big deal. We are primarily a one-income family. We chose to have a parent at home with Ellie. That's me, right? I stepped back from my music career so I could be a dad with Ellie, and I've been finding little things to do while I can still do that to supplement my income, whether it be as a session studio musician or, honestly, what's grown into now easy mode. And it's been something I can do. You guys know, look, we've got like 1,300 plus subscribers, right? I'm not a wealthy YouTuber. I make a little bit on the side through Patreon, and now that we're monetized, a little bit on the channel from YouTube. Enough to maybe pay an electric bill, that kind of thing. And I'm so blessed by that. So blessed that that's actually a possibility, because try explaining that to 15-year-old Scott. Hey, someday you could pay a couple bills by playing video games. I've been like, oh, what's the greatest job ever? And it really is. If I could do anything at this point, it would be sit in this seat, in this room, in this house, and make the. I wish there was a way to make this a full-time job. That would be amazing, to have the community that we have and to build something that entertains people on this medium. It absolutely has been an incredible blessing. But anyway, because of the choice to have a stay-at-home parent and all of that, we don't make as much money as other people. And so the rent here has been great. So anyway, I'm really just rambling, and I apologize if you've stuck around this long. God bless you. But basically, what we recently found out is the day that I found out that I have MS, I came home and I went to go talk to our landlady, and we were just shooting the breeze. We've been close for a long time, and I was sharing with her what happened. And you could tell she was broken up and she didn't want to tell me. But 5 minutes after or basically as soon as I told her, I said, so what's going on with you? And she let me know that she's decided for just personal reasons. I will admit that, it wasn't that circumstances dictated that she needed to, but she's decided it would be best for her to not wait a year, and she's going to sell the house this fall. So now that's a half a year taken away from our planning time to get into a home, whether it be try to bank as much money as we possibly could towards a down payment or whatever it might be. Have a year to try to find something, because it's so hard to find something to live here, a place that's affordable. So now we have until this fall. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure that's going to stick either. I'm not saying that, we're going to get pushed out sooner, but I know we're probably the obstacle in her way to completing everything she wants to do. And I would assume the only reason the house isn't on the market today is her guilt for like us not having anywhere to go. I have scoured and I have scoured and I have scoured for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and literally cannot find anything that even remotely can house my family without spending 3 times what we can afford. And the funny thing is, like, my wife makes good money at the job she has. And a couple of years ago, it would have been what we can afford on a monthly basis would have been completely reasonable. And now, because of the way things have changed where we live, like, what we can afford to be able to afford to live anything that could, like, house our family, even modestly, like really downsizing and just sticking with the core things that we need. We're talking about spending probably 2 to 3 times a month what we spend right now. So it's really pricey. And so I'm letting you guys know that probably really soon we are actively looking for a new place to live right now. And that is going to affect the channel. So that's why I wanted to let you guys know. And I apologize. I'm rambling like crazy, but man, it just feels good to talk to you guys about it. And I apologize for those of you who are like checked out and bored. I totally understand that too. But yeah, so the way that this is going to affect the channel is I'm going to keep this set up as long as I possibly can. But what you're going to see is probably like the display pieces, Kermit, the couch, things like that. You may end up seeing my new backdrop as just a bunch of stacked boxes. I'm going to be trying to, easy mode studio is pretty much done. You know, we're going to be packing everything up, and I'm going to try to leave the desk and the equipment set up so that we can keep doing videos for as long as we can. And then I'm going to try to get ahead of the game and start to build up an archive, because when we move, at some point, I'm going to have to pack all this stuff up. And wherever we go next, even if I've got room to set all this up and just have a new environment for the channel, you know, it's going to probably take a week or two to get there. And so you guys are going to see probably more of a disruption on Patreon. Patreon is, you're probably going to see more of that. I'm going to build an archive to try to keep the main channel at least flowing, so every couple of days we still have more content coming out. But as far as the content as it goes to Patreon, it's probably going to be about a week or two of no content, because I'm just going to be in the process of moving. And so I really appreciate the continued support on Patreon. People have been so kind and understanding, and I really hope that you guys will give me the grace I need to get through that transition as well. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get through that quickly. Now, that said, I don't know where we're going to go. I have no idea, guys, where we are going to go. We literally don't have an option right now in Maine, where we live. And I don't know if we're going to be leaving the state and like moving back down south where we used to live. So I don't know. That may happen. We kind of don't want to do that right now, because literally everybody that we're involved with right now, our family and our friends, my wife and I are both originally from here, so we've got roots here. You know, this is where Ellie's grown up. You know, her grandparent, like all of this stuff, we're just so embedded into this life with the people we love. And the idea of just being priced out and pushed out, you know, by the financial circumstances really stinks. You know, my parents are getting older. My mom probably doesn't have very long for this world, and I was really hoping to be able to stay here, to be able to ride those years out, you know, and for us to be here for that. I don't know how that's going to work. So anyway, again, if you are a praying person, please pray for my family. I don't know where, as of this point, we don't have anything else lined up, but we are packing up. And right now, even today, I was looking at properties like elsewhere. So anyway, that's that. It may create some disruption. If we stayed here, we probably would have to move into a really small place. I mean, really small. And in that case, if I'm being honest, that would be like a worst case scenario, because I don't know where I would do this. I want to keep it going. And I desperately want to do everything in my power to keep easy mode alive. There is nothing outside of my faith and family. There is nothing that has meant as much to me in the last year and a half of my life as this. And I can't even describe to you the amount of emotions that I would be feeling if I had to give this up over this whole circumstance. So I'm going to be doing everything in my power to keep this alive. It just may not be very pretty. You may see me in a closet with a light bulb and a gaming controller. I don't know what this is going to look like, but please stick with me through it, and we're going to get through it together. And easy mode may be done in the closet. I don't know where we're going to go, but we're going to make it happen. So that's that. Now, as far as other channel business, we've talked about health, we've talked about housing. As far as where we're going to be going next as far as games, a lot of you guys have been coming in the comments lately and saying, okay, I'm done with Tears of the Kingdom, it's your turn. you know? And honestly, I mean, we know, look, with all the games that we're playing right now, Halo's a big one. The Halo universe has brought a lot of amazing people into our community, and that picked up in a way I really had no idea it was going to. Really, in a way that I think Halo has now rivaled Breath of the Wild as being a huge draw for people out there to discover Let's Play Easy mode. And so I'm so appreciative. We're going to continue on with Halo. We're going to go through the whole series. Right now we're in Halo ODST, and after that we're going to go to Halo Reach, and after that we're going to go to Halo 4, and after that we're going to eventually watch another thing of cutscenes, I think from Halo Wars 2, and then we'll get into Halo 5 and Infinite and all of those. But as far as Nintendo goes, as far as the saga of Link and Zelda, you know, we did Age of Calamity, and I told you guys that I would want to give you guys some time to get through Tears of the Kingdom, and so I was going to do Age of Calamity, Mario Odyssey, and then Skyward Sword. You guys might remember we did a fan mail opening that gave me a bunch of games that, you know, Zelda games from Chipmunky. So what's been really funny is we just finished Age of Calamity, and you guys haven't seen it yet, but the first 2 episodes of Mario Odyssey are up on Patreon right now. And what's been really funny is how many people have been like, okay, we're waiting. Hurry up, you know, do that. And I really appreciate the green light from so many of you guys, but I kind of feel the need to stick to the plan just because out of fairness to everybody, and really nothing means as much to me and these kinds of things as my word, you know, and so I want to keep that going, you know, and we'll get through Mario Odyssey, but there seems to be a lot of people finishing Tears of the Kingdom faster than I gave everybody credit for, because the game's supposed to be so much bigger than Breath of the Wild, and some people have played 2,000 hours of Breath of the Wild, and they're still discovering new things. So what I'm going to do, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys the choice. I'm going to keep my word. We're going to play Mario Odyssey. After Mario Odyssey is done, I'm going to put a poll up. And I'm not saying that we're going to go with whatever the poll does, but I am very curious to hear from the Let's Play Easy Mode community as a whole. If you guys want me to start Tears of the Kingdom after Mario Odyssey. Here's what I'm thinking we'll do. If the answer is no, please give us some more time, I'm good with that. And what we'll do is we will go into Skyward Sword after Mario Odyssey. And then probably by then, based on what I've read, that still takes a little bit of time to get through. By then, we might be ready to get into Tears of the Kingdom. If you guys, as a community, overwhelmingly say that it's time to start Tears of the Kingdom, then what we'll do is we will probably do Skyward Sword as the game that replaces Link's Awakening on Patreon. So unless you guys are all like, maybe I should make another option that just says play Skyward Sword and Link's Awakening. I don't want to play 2 Zelda games at once, because the way my brain works, I think I would just be getting the 2 mixed up. So like on the channel, if I'm trying to play both, I feel like I could handle Tears of the Kingdom and then handle Skyward Sword if Skyward Sword is like a once a week play, you know, on Wednesday nights. But if you guys would rather see Tears of the Kingdom, then maybe we'll do Skyward Sword on Patreon. If you guys are like, we're not ready, then maybe I'll consider. Either way, this isn't audience vote wins no matter what. I just want to see and kind of scope out, do the survey, and see what you guys think as a whole. So we're going to put that survey up once we're done, as we get closer to the end of Mario Odyssey, and you guys let me know if you want to see Tears of the Kingdom now or after Mario Odyssey, or if we should give it a little bit more time and then dive into it a little bit later. So that's the deal with Tears of the Kingdom, Skyward Sword, and kind of how we're going to move forward with that. Last thing on the docket, as far as the channel goes, I want to start doing more frequent live streams on the main channel. For one, I miss communicating with you guys live. We started doing that for a while on those like one-offs where it was like, hey, we have a special here or a special there, and it was so great to get the community together. You know, we were playing games, we were together, community trivia games and things like that, and those nights have meant the world to me, and we just haven't done that in a really long time. And so you know, we still have fun on Wednesday nights playing, but it's like 4 of us or 5 of us that get on Wednesday nights and have fun, because you know, it's a small Patreon listing right now. So what I want to do is open up more opportunities for us as a community to come together during live streams and do some stuff together. So be expecting more live streams that way, because I want to create more opportunities. And I want to create, you know, just for me, it's more content getting out there as well that I don't necessarily have to edit. We're just doing our thing. I've decided that what I want to do with that is, there was a game that I've had my eye on when I first got my PS5, because I love cute games. That's just me. I love cute story games. And the game that really, really caught my eye was Kena Bridge of Spirits. And I started playing that game when we were probably like at 500 subscribers, and most people were just watching Breath of the Wild, and they weren't really interested in Kena. Now, we've doubled in size, more than doubled in size, and I'm wondering if we may have more of an audience that would like to hang out on a live stream, just chillax together, and do Kena. It's a great family game from what I can see. It's very family friendly. It's got a neat story, and there's a really cool world to explore. I know my daughter Ellie has seen a little bit of it, and you know, she thought it was so cute. And so I played a couple episodes. It never really got a lot of traction back then, and I've deleted those episodes and just said whatever. But to be honest, I've been wanting to play that game for a while, and I've been looking for a game that we can play as just a live stream game on the channel whenever we do a live stream, just for fun. So expect to be seeing that soon. I think we're going to be playing Kena Bridge of Spirits, and I'll be looking for you guys who are experienced with it to jump into chat and let me know if there's anything you see me missing. And I'd like to do these fun, you know, live streams together on a regular basis. So we'll be doing that too, because I just think that would be a really cool opportunity for us to just continue getting together as a community and doing something fun and cute, and still being able to spend time together, because we really haven't done that as much. We've kind of gone through a season here where it's just been a lot of pre-recorded videos, and I appreciate you guys watching those, but I want to find more opportunities for us to connect live as well. Guys, I have been going on now for, oh my goodness, this is going on 30 minutes now that we've been talking. So if you actually took time and watched all of this, if you've listened to it like a podcast, if you're working and it's running in the background and you've actually made it through all of this, even if you click through the chapters that I'm going to make for this video, so you can skip around to the news you want to get. Thank you so much for watching this video and taking time to just invest in what's going on in me personally and in the channel. Guys, thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for the time that you take out of your day. I've said this before, and I mean it with every bit of my heart. I will never take for granted the fact that you take time out of your day and you watch my videos. I will never take that for granted. It means the world to me. I don't care if we shrink or we grow into a mega channel, even if that ever happened, which I don't think it probably will, but even if it did, I will always treat this the same, and I will always hit it with the same amount of appreciation. I'm blown away that we have what we have, and it's such a kind and loving and warm place to be. This community, you guys made it that way, and thank you so much. You guys saw my vision to want to make something that people felt welcome and not attacked within the gaming world on YouTube, and you guys subscribed to it, and thank you so much for that. And I just hope we can continue growing. We're still growing every day. We got new people joining our community every day, and it means the world to me, and you mean the world to me, and that's why I can't give you up so easy. We got to fight to make sure we keep this thing going. So, guys, I love you. You mean the world. Thank you, by the way, to the current list of patrons who are making things happen. I love you guys, and thank you. If you're out there and you want to join Patreon, make sure to hop on over to this link today for $5 a month. You can get early release content, and when we hit that, we'll hit that lull for a little bit, but typically, you can get these videos way ahead of time before they release to YouTube, and sometimes up to 5-6 days, and $10 a month you'll get exclusive content, because like right now we're playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. Has been one of the funnest game experiences I've had on easy mode so far. I love that game, and we played Quantic Dream games, and it's been so much fun. My Super Mario World playthrough from Super Nintendo, that was a blind playthrough. That was a lot of fun. Playing that as well. I had never gotten past the first half of it as a kid, so that was fun. Anyway, check those things out. We've got a lot of other one-offs on Patreon as well, so definitely worth going and checking that out. Guys, I'm going to quit rambling. Thank you again for watching this video, and thank you so much for your support. Pray for me. There's a lot of changes coming up, and thank you for your thoughts, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what's ahead. I think we got a cool future ahead of us. I really do, here on the channel. And so anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go edit this video. I got a lot to do today, but I will talk to you a little bit later. But until then, I love you. Take it easy.